with Maryann. It's good to see all of you back again. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is joy. Wouldn't you all like to have more joy in your life? Well, today, our practice is focused on cultivating joy. There are infinite reasons to be joyful in this world, and we're going to focus on the tools that we need to get there. It's part of our mindful practice so that we can be more fully alive and present to our lives. So take a comfortable seat and let's get started. And I suggest child's pose. So spread your knees as wide as you can. Bring your toes together in the back if you can. Drop your hips back. Sink your hips and just let your full body, chest melt towards the mat. And start to bring some focus to your breath. And the first one is to connect with your breath. To just be aware of the length and depth of your breath. And slowly release any thoughts that float into your mind. And feel your belly fill up. Now in this posture, it's not always easy. You have to find ease in this posture in order to connect with your breath. And if your belly is dropped between your thighs, then you can comfortably fill your belly with air. And let that breath come up into your chest, into your diaphragm, all the way up to your sternum. And then release it fully, all the way back down, squeezing your belly back towards your spine. Stretching out those upper arms. You can crisscross your arms and make a pillow for your forehead if that's more comfortable. You can place a folded blanket under your forehead. Just find ease and comfort in this pose and just bring your focus fully to your breath. And with each breath, feel your chest melt closer to the mat. And just settle into this present moment. And maybe send an intention today, set an intention today for being more joyful, for focusing on the things that bring you happiness and joy in your life. Then slowly begin to walk your hands over to your right and just stretch out your side body. And then come on back, over in the opposite direction, and stretch out your side body. Feel a nice long stretch, all from your hip all the way up to your shoulder. And then come on back and bring yourself up to all fours. And check your alignment, making sure that your hips are under, your knees are under your hips, hands are under your shoulders. Nice, neutral, long spine. From your tailbone to your cervical neck, your gaze is down. Fingers are spread wide. And engage your core, pull your belly in a little bit so that you're not sinking into your hips. And then begin to gently come into some cat-cows. So inhale, lift your chest. Drop your belly, exhale, pull your belly into your spine, round your shoulders, pull them apart, drop your chin, let your head hang as you pull your shoulder blades apart, and just find a nice wave of cat-cow on your breath. Always inhaling on the cow when you drop your belly and exhaling when you pull your belly up towards your spine into the cat. Just working to get some nice fluid movement in your spine, slowly waking up all those muscles and joints, imbibing all those vertebrae, filling them with fluid, getting that synovial fluid moving. Extend that right hand out, thread the needle, drop your shoulders down to the mat. Sink your hips further back. We're just opening up that shoulder a little bit and the upper part of your back. Just a gentle twist here. Try to find ease and softness in this pose. Couple more breaths. And then slowly work your way back up to all fours. And let's take the opposite hand out to the side. Thread that needle, drop your shoulder to the mat. Sink your hips back. And continue to stretch. Nice. Gentle stretch, there should be no pain. And that's the second part of cultivating joy, is connecting with the sensations of your body. Being aware of how things feel, letting your body be your guide. Feeling without judgment, no negative thoughts, just loving and caring and showing yourself compassion. And then slowly work your way back up. Just check in with your alignment for a minute and then come all the way back up to kneeling. Pull your shoulder blades down your back, just kind of in like a kneeling Tadasana, kneeling mountain pose. And then extend your right foot out to the side. And then bring your arm up and stretch out your side body this way. Nice open side body, but you're holding your chest, your shoulders and your hips are facing me. And you're just dropping your shoulders away from your ears. And then come on up. And let's bring that knee back. Extend the other knee out. Nice and tall. And then bring your arm up and over your left arm. Keeping those shoulders and hips squared to me. And that pinky side toe of your right foot is even with the short end of your mat. So your toes are facing me. And you're just stretching, just get a deeper stretches, whatever, how far you feel comfortable. Then come on back up. Bring that leg in and step it forward. Now you might want to get your blocks and have them handy. And even here, we're just going to do some nice gentle stretches here. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. Shoulders and hips are facing me. Shoulders away from your ears. And let's just do a nice runner stretch here. So you're opening up that psoas, that hip muscle. Nice. And just breathe. Let those shoulders fall down your back, away from your ears. If this is too much on your knee, fold a blanket, put it underneath your left knee. Breathe, and then pull back. Bring that toe up. Keeping those hips It's parallel to me. And then stretch your hamstring. Toe up gives you a deeper stretch. Sink those hips back. So imagine you're pulling that right hip back so that it's not kind of making its way forward. There you go. And then just let your body, your chest come forward, hinge at your hips. You're leading with your chest, your head is up. Nice. Feel the stretch back here? Yeah. Breathe. And let's our fluid movement back and forth. Use your breath. Exhale back. I want you to curl your back toes so that you, when you're comfortable, you can lift that back knee. So you might want to shorten your stance a little bit. So your both toes, sets of toes are facing me. There's a bend in your front knee. Use your core and start to lift up. Bring your arms up if that's in your practice, or keep them here on your hips. And track your legs so that they are a little distance apart so that you have strength and stability. And push that back heel towards the earth. And like I said, you can stay here, you can stay here, or you can come all the way up. And imagine those thighs scissoring together, keeping the hips and shoulders to me, pushing that back heel down. Breathe, keeping those shoulders away from your ears. Bring your hands to cactus on the exhale. Inhale, forward fold just from your hips. Stability. Come on back up. Building some heat here. Keep those arms up. Shoulder blades back, down. Hinge at your hips. And then drop your hands all the way to your blocks. And then bring that back foot to meet the front. Drop your head just in a forward fold. Knees slightly bent. And then inhale, hinge at your hips, come straight up, straight back. Arms all the way up. Hands to heart center. Take a breath. And then step that right foot back. We're going to do that crescent lunge that we just did. So your toes are, both sets of toes are facing forward. Your left knee is bent. And make sure that your knee is tracking over your ankle. Shoulders and hips are facing me. Pushing that back heel down towards the mat. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Breathe. Hands in cactus. And you just notice how you feel here. Here's that second tool, checking in with your body. Notice if you feel a little bit more stable or a little less stable on this side. No judgment. Just do what you need to make this leg feel more comfortable. Try to pull that left hip back so that they're even. Come on, back up. And then down again, cactus. Hinge at your hips. Engage your core, scissor those legs. Come on, back up. One more time. Push that heel towards the earth. And up. And this time come down, grab your blocks, and drop your right knee to the mat. Extend that right foot a smidgen forward if you need to. Put a blanket under your right knee if you need it for support. And let's just stretch out the hip flexor on your right side. And breathe. Just check in, make sure your knee is over your ankle. And try to walk that foot in a little bit closer to the midline. And breathe. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly start to move into stretching out that hamstring. Bring that toe up, your left toes up. Keeping those hips straight, parallel to me. And maybe you need to scoot that over more. And then find your breath and come in and out of this posture. There's your psoas stretch. And here's your hamstring. Nice straight spine. Gentle. Take it, listen to your body. And the third thing is to release, which makes sense, right? Release any tension or heaviness we have in our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. Just release it. Last big stretch here. And then slowly bring that foot back to kneeling. Put your blocks aside. Come back to all fours and get ready for down dog. So take your hands, you're in all fours, take one palm print forward, curl your toes, sink your hips, engage your core, lift your hips up and back for your first down dog of the day. Just let your head hang, walk your dog, push those heels down towards the earth, push those hips back, stretching the arms so you have a nice long upside down V. And if your hamstrings are tight, you can keep your knees bent. And then you can bring your knees parallel, shift your weight forward, shins parallel to the mat, up and back. Couple of fluid moves like this. Inhale, shins to the mat, towards parallel to the mat, up and back. One more time. Inhale, shift forward, shins parallel, hips up and back. This time, bring your shins parallel and drop your knees to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Shift forward. Drop your thighs, your hips, and your chest. Good. And just lay on the mat. Bring your hands under your forehead. Just take a couple breaths here. Just release any tension you might be holding in your legs or in your buttocks. And take a nice couple breaths. Connect with your breath here. And then slowly come up for Sphinx. This is a nice gentle back bend. And your head is neutral. You want a neutral cervical spine. So your gaze is sort of forward but down towards the mat. So you just feel like you have a nice neutral cervical spine. And your shoulders are pulling back. So you have a nice back bend. There you go. And then come on back down to the mat. Bring your hands towards your chest. Curl your toes. And bring your hips up and back. All the way up to down dog. Stretch. Push your hips back. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come back to kneeling. Kickstand your right leg. And then take your left leg, kickstand your left leg. Take your right leg, extend it out sideways. Do it this way so you can see. so that your hand, your knee, and your right foot are all in alignment. And then just bring your right arm up and open up your chest, pushing away from the mat, pulling it up, opening up your, spiraling, open up your chest. This is a supported side plank. And if you feel you want to play with it today, you can lift that right leg. If not, just stay where you are. You can extend that right arm over your shoulder, play with your balance, and then come back down. Come back to all fours, and let's set up for the other side. So extend your right leg. Your right arm is in line with your right knee. Your left foot is extended towards the back of the mat, pinky side on the short end of the mat. There you go. And just open up your chest. If you want to raise up on your fingertips or put a block underneath your right arm, if you feel you need that. Make sure you're stable. Use your core. And if you want to play around with lifting that outside leg, extending that arm over, bring it down, and come back to all fours. And come on back all the way up to down dog. And then slowly walk your feet and your hands together. So you're in a forward fold. Engage your core, lift straight up. Arms up overhead. And hands down. Take a minute, shake out, take a drink of water. Good. All right, let's do some balancing poses. So let's get rooted. And lift your toes and make sure that your weight is evenly distributed on the balls of your feet and your heels. Good. Make sure you have a nice, long, straight spine. Everything is stacked, one on top of the other. Shoulder blades are hugging towards your spine, and your shoulders are away from your ears. Your ears are over your shoulders. So check and see if you need to tuck your chin back a little. There you go. And then when you feel nice and grounded, try to kickstand your right foot. Either leave it here or begin to find your way up. Set your drishti, hold on to the wall if you need it for support. Try to find your focus on something that's not moving. And then begin to play around with your tree. Nice, strong. And then when you're ready, bring that foot back to the earth. Take a minute, set up on the other side. Make sure you're rooted in the earth. Nice and tall. And when you feel ready, begin to kickstand that left foot. And play around with your version of tree. We have things, challenges, and struggles in our life. And a lot of times we focus on getting over them, getting past them. He says we have to learn to accept them as part of life. Just like in this posture, we have to accept the instability as part of our journey, right? And find ease and comfort in this moment, just like we do when we have challenges in life. And then slowly release that foot to the earth. Shake out, and then step your feet out as wide as you comfortably can with your toes facing forward. And extend your arms to the side. So you want your arms as close, your wrists to be as close to underneath your ankles as you can comfortably be. And then begin to hinge at your hips, straight spine, neutral neck, and just take a forward fold. Now you might want your blocks underneath you. To grab them here, you decide. If your hamstrings are really tight, put a slight bend in your knees. It's more important to keep a straight back than it is to get down. So listen to your body, see where you need to be. Check in. Make sure you're not shifting your weight forward or back. You want it even on so you can lift your toes, and you're right in the middle of your foot. And then just sink forward as far as it's comfortable. Like I said, on the blocks, bent knees, your call, whatever you're feeling today. And then slowly begin to walk your hands over to the right. And a side stretch here. Feel it in that hamstring, walk it back to the center. And then over to the left. Use your breath. Keep it nice and even. Connect your breath to your movement. And back to center. And then turn your toes out and your heels in. And begin to sink your hips as you lift your torso. Shoulders down your back. And just sink and up. And exhale. Keeping those knees over your ankles. And down. Keeping your knees over your ankles, let them open. So if you need to narrow your stance because you're tight in here, that's okay. Just don't sink into your hips. There. Don't squat this way. There you go. Nice. Great. You look at how beautiful you all look. One more time. Stay here. Bring your arms up to cactus. Sink into this posture. Bring your forearms together. Find ease here. Your thighs are talking to you. That's okay. You can do this. You are strong. Come forward. One more time. Open. You got this. Two more. Open. You might start to feel a little jittery in those thighs. You got it. One more. Open. And come all the way up. Shake out. Walk your feet together. Shake out. Woo! You feel your thighs? Okay. Feet about fist width apart. Nice and tall. Tadasana. Bring your arms up and overhead. Grab hold of interlace your fingers. Pointer fingers are straight up. And we're going to take a side crescent moon. Just a side body stretch. Pushing out those hips on the right. Keeping the shoulders forward to me. Don't extend your neck forward. There you go. And come on back up. Inhale, tall. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Push those hips out. Stretching out that side body. Opening up the chest. Bring that left shoulder back. And come back up. Bring your hands down. Now I want you to take your hands behind your back. Bring both hands to the small of your back on either side of your spine. Bring your elbows towards each other. Stand up nice and tall. And we're just going to take a gentle back bend. Drop your head back. Pull those elbows toward each other. And up. Engage your core. Come on up. Take a breath. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back bend. And up. And then I take your hands, interlock them, and then begin to pull those shoulder blades back if you can. If not, you might want to take a strap here. Hold the strap this way. If you can't interlock your hands, pull those shoulder blades back, and then you're going to push your arms up as you forward fold. Drop your head. You can put a micro bend in your knees. Just feel that stretch in your back. Engage your core. Come on, straight back up. Release your shoulders. Shake your arms out. And let's slowly come back down to a seated posture. Sukhasana. Sit up nice and tall. And let's just do a gentle cat-cow here. So whatever makes you comfortable. And then begin to just slowly pull your shoulder blades apart as you bring your belly in toward your spine. And then reverse it. Bring your chest forward, lift your chin. And then 2 more, just like that. Seated cat-cow. Just kind of doing some counter moves to our back bend. And then lift again. Last one. And forward. And then find a neutral position. Spread your legs open as far as they can. And you might want to pull your sit bones out or elevate your sit bones so that you're sitting on a block. If you find yourself all hunched over like this, then you need to elevate your hips. So make a double block bench for yourself or find a pillow to sit on so that you can comfortably elongate that spine. Lift those toes up to the ceiling. Much better. There you go. And then pull those sit bones out. Pull them out so that the sit bones are further back. And drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then just begin to hinge forward. Whatever that looks like in your body. Maybe you're just here. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're all the way down. You figure out what feels good. We don't want a rounded back. We want a straight back. So whatever you need to do just to get the stretch in your hamstrings without rounding your back is what we're aiming for. So take your time. Use your breath to let go of all the things that stop you from finding joy. Those worries or those judgments of yourself or your situation. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly walk your hands back up. Bring that left foot in. There you go. Sit up nice and tall. And just hinge forward one more time. And then slowly walk your way over to your right leg. Maybe grab hold of your calf. Feel a side body stretch as you're doing this. Listen to your body. Go as far as your body feels comfortable. If you need to put a support underneath your bent knee, you can put a block there, a pillow, whatever. And then come back up. And then slowly extend that bent knee and reverse it. Again, hinge at your hips. Check out your sit bones. Lift them off the earth. There you go. Come forward. And then gently walk your way over to your straight leg. Grab hold of your thigh, your calf if you can. If not, just stay here, whatever feels good. And try to get a side body stretch. Just a gentle twist here. And then straight up. And bring both feet out in front of you. Maybe shake them out. And this is Dandasana, so we're going to sit up nice and tall, keeping those shoulders away from our ears. And then hinge forward. And grab hold of whatever part of your leg feels good. You can grab hold of your shins. Bend your knees if your hamstrings are tight. Put a blanket or a pillow underneath your knees if you need to. Keep your head up. There you go. And you're hinging at your hips to keep you a nice long spine. We don't want a rounded back here. We want a straight back. And then straight up. Engage your core. And we're going to come down. So we're sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to slowly find our way down to our mat. And bring your knees in. Give them a big squeeze. Roll around on your back a little. Give it a massage. And grab hold of your strap. Keep your knees in, bent. And then extend your right foot up to the earth, up to the ceiling rather. And put the strap around the bottom of your foot, around the ball of your feet, and just extend your legs straight up. And just check out your heel, see what it's doing. Is it turning in so that you have kind of that duck posture to your foot, or is it doing a reverse so you have that pigeon toe? So make whatever micro adjustments you need to keep that heel and toe in alignment straight, not veering either out or in. And then put both straps in your right hand and begin to bring that foot over to the right, keeping your shoulder blades on the earth. And you can put a block underneath your right foot as it goes out underneath your calf or your thigh. Good. You can extend that left foot straight if you want. And then slowly bring that right foot back up to center. Change hands with the strap and just take it across the midline just a smidgen, just to stretch out that T-band on the outside of your right leg. So just shy of the midline. Feel the stretch on the outside of your right leg. Both hips are on the earth. Shoulders are on the earth. And then back to center, bend that knee, release the strap, switch legs. Strap around the bottom of your left foot. Right foot is either bent or extended. And then when you're ready, making sure that both hips stay on the earth and both shoulders start to extend that left leg out to the side, keeping your hips on the earth. Take it as far as feels comfortable. Support it with blocks or pillows or blankets if you need to, but make sure that your right hip is not lifting off the earth. You can extend that right leg down straight. Hold here and breathe. And then slowly bring it back to center. Switch hands with the strap. And then cross the midline, just stretching that T-band and the outside of your left leg. Nice. And just breathe. Check it in with your body and make sure your shoulders and your hips, everything is even with the earth. And then come back to center. Bend that knee. Release the strap. And then we're going to do some bicycles. That your shoulder blades are tucked underneath. There you go. And they're hugging your spine. And then you're going to engage your legs. Bring them up straight in front of you, overhead rather. And then as you bend your right foot, your left leg extends straight, doesn't touch the mat, stays a few inches above the mat, and then it starts to bend as your right foot comes straight. And then you're just going to continue slowly with that routine. Just using that core, keeping that extended leg a few inches from the mat, taking it nice and slow. Last one. Come in and bring your feet to the floor. And windshield wiper your legs. Widen your stance onto the outside edge of your mat and just let your knees flop in. Like a windshield wiper. And then walk your feet back together. Take your arms out into a T outside, even with your shoulders. And then begin to let your knees drop over to your right. Shoulders stay on the earth. And your left hip lifts. And you just let your knees flop over to the right. And your gaze is to the left. So it's a nice, gentle twist. You might want to support your right leg with some blocks or blankets if it doesn't go to the earth. You want to keep your shoulders on the mat. Left hip is lifted. Gaze is over your left shoulder. And then slowly bring your knees back up to center. Take a breath or two here. And then slowly let your knees drop over to the left again, supporting them with a blanket, a pillow, a block, whatever, and your gaze goes over to your right shoulder. Both shoulders are flat on the mat. Right hip is lifted, gentle, gentle twist. And breathe. And back to center. Grab hold of one of your blocks. Bring your feet close to your bottom. Lift your hips and put the block underneath your sacrum. For supported bridge, there you go. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure that your shoulder blades are tucked to your spine, toward your spine. Keep your knees, imagine that you have a block between your knees so that your knees are staying close together. And just breathe here. Toes are pointing straight ahead. And try to find softness in this pose. Just check in with your shoulders. See if you can let them melt into the mat. See if you can breathe into your hips and just let your hips melt onto the block. Just find ease in this pose.
I say this all the time, but this is such a good restorative pose that if you wanted to get even more benefit from it, you can lift your feet so that you have legs up the wall. And if you wanted to physically get close to the wall and do feet up the wall, this would be a good time to do that as well. And maybe flex your toes, flex and point, just kind of get some circulation from our legs back to our heart. And circles one way and then the other. And then come to stillness. And then maybe bend your knees and bring them back to the earth, whatever feels good for you. A few more breaths here. And then slowly lift your hips and remove the block and find your way into your Shavasana. Feet extended. Take nice and easy breaths.
And just connect with your breath. You don't have to control it. Just feel it entering and exiting your body. Observe it. And then become aware of the sensations you feel in your body at this moment. Kind of check in and compare them to how you felt at the beginning of class. And just be aware of any subtle changes you might be feeling or experiencing. And allow yourself to completely surrender to this moment. Cultivating joy is a vital part of a mindfulness practice. So today, I invite you to join me in a visualization exercise. For the next few minutes, give yourself permission to participate fully in the exploration of joy. Imagine you are walking the shoreline of your favorite beach, and it's right before sunset. With each step, you sink deeply into the softening sand, and you feel grounded and safe in this moment. Connect with your body in a new way. You feel balanced with nature as you stand strong against the receding waves that wash over your feet. Inhale joy. Exhale release. Release your foothold in the sand. Release any tension still left in your body, or any heaviness that you might feel as you continue to walk the beach. And allow all of that to release into the sea foam at the shore's edge. and watch it disappear into the immense expanse of the sea. Inhale joy. Exhale release. Continue on your journey down this isolated stretch of shore. And as you do, you stop and admire the remnants of a creatively crafted sandcastle. And in this moment, you are reminded of the many beach structures that you created, all filled with hope and joy and dreams. And you feel a sense of ease and lightness, both in your mind and in your body. Inhale love. Exhale, let go. Let go of expectations. Let go of fears. Let go of judgment. Let go of all the things that keep you from experiencing joy. And you realize in this moment that all you need to be happy is present right here, right now. Send yourself love and self-compassion. Inhale joy. Exhale, let go of everything that no longer serves you. You are lost in your thoughts as you continue to walk. A seabird swoops down in front of you and begins to feast on the seaweed gathered between a beautiful array of shells and sea glass. And a frosted shard of glass catches your eye. It's been tumbled into a genuine glass gem. You pick it up and hold it in your hand, and you feel alive. And you feel the energy of years of tumbling that glass move through your hand into your full being, moving through your entire body. That energy comes from the power of the sea and the smoothing and honing of this ordinary piece of glass into a magnificent piece of beauty. Inhale beauty, exhale worries and tension. You realize that, like the ocean, the challenges of life will tumble you and toss you in the process, but it is in that tossing that you are honed into a magnificent work of beauty. As you gaze across the horizon, you watch the sun gently peek behind the sea's edge, and it leaves a painted masterpiece, a glorious sight to witness. And you realize that life is a precious gift. All you have to do is enjoy it. Slowly bring your attention back into the room. And gently find your way over onto your side. And in this place of new beginnings, maybe you commit to yourself that you will cultivate joy every day, that you will find the beauty in life, that you will allow it to sink into the center of your being and into your heart, so that you can feel fully alive and be fully present to experience all the gifts that life has to offer. So slowly bring your way to a seated posture, hands to heart center, chin to chest. As soon as we let go of our desires and wake up to this present moment, we see that reality itself is indescribably beautiful, filled with great joy. I wish you joy and peace and happiness, and I offer you blessings and gentle hugs from my heart to yours. Namaste.
Namaste.